Hi there, welcome back to With Wisteria Tarot. So today's video is what should you say for the new moon in Gemini. So there is a new moon in Gemini this Sunday, June 14th, and so new moon is all about manifestation, so this would be a good time to speak out what you want to manifest for yourself. So we have 4 piles, 1 to 4. Please meditate on the piles, and timestamps are below. If you would like to book a personal reading, information is in the description box. All right, thank you. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you for clicking on this video. This is With Wisteria. So this video is about what messages should you speak out loud for the new moon in Gemini. So for your reading, we got don't take life too seriously, just for fun. Your ancestors are watching, make them proud. Queen of Swords, Bogota, Colombia. Knight of Pentacles, Page of Cups, and Temperance. So the first thing that is coming out is that you might be very tough on yourself. You might be very strict with yourself and a little judgmental. You can be very harsh with yourself. And the messages that you should speak for the new moon should be more loving and caring and patient with yourself. There seems to be a lot of strictness and judgment in the way you speak to yourself. I'm not sure if you have a lot of goals and ambitions and you have a lot of deadlines that you have set for yourself. I think you really want to prove to your family and prove to others that you are successful and doing well, and you don't want to disappoint them. The message is though that you should enjoy life as well. So when you manifest going forward, you want to manifest from a very loving and caring way for yourself. So for example, you might be working very hard at a job, a company, career, and you should be very proud of yourself for every step and that you have accomplished so far and how you are progressing. You should speak more words of encouragement to yourself at this time. I think the more you speak kindly to yourself and congratulate yourself for every step of the way, it'll help you progress more and it will nurture your goals. There's something that you don't have to be too harsh on yourself. So for example, I just remember like one time I was golfing with a friend and I kept missing the ball, and I would say things like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Or, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for so long, how come I'm not hitting the ball? Versus my friend who just started playing, and she was able to hit the ball and sometimes she wasn't able to. And she would speak very kindly to herself. She would say things like, oh, next time. Oh, good job, you made contact. Okay, next time we'll do a little bit better. Oh, that was a good progress. And so she would be very gentle and kind to herself while I was super harsh. And she had a lot more fun playing than I did, and she hit the ball more times than I did. So there's something about you need to do the same to yourself and how you speak to yourself. So if this is at work, you should be proud that you are progressing each day. And then maybe if you're not perfect, you could be like, wow, I made it so far than who I was a year ago, 2 years ago, or wow, I've improved so much since my previous roles and I'm doing a really good job, and like keep going. Especially if this is like a creative field, you want to nurture and create out of a place of love more so than brutality. So you really need to balance that out within yourself and just be gentler with yourself. If you're concerned about like making other people proud, you should first tell yourself how proud you are of yourself. So, and then just remember that life should be fun and things that you do should be fun. And it's not going to be fun when you talk to yourself very negatively. So yeah, disconnect and leap of faith and rehabilitation. Yeah, so I see that you have a lot of ambition, but you aren't really pursuing your goals out of the love for it anymore. I've seen like you burnt yourself out, maybe because you push yourself too hard, or the way you speak to yourself, or have like just kind of made it not as fun anymore. It's like when you turn a hobby into a side business and you just worry so much about like the analytics, the logistics, that you aren't even connecting with the artwork or your hobby the same way you used to. So there's something where you really need to pour love back into that area of life, whether that's your job, career, your hobby. Yeah, and then we have goal setting at the bottom. Yeah, so you might be so dead set on like accomplishing things in life that you're not actually enjoying it, and you really need fun and passion to continue. So for the new moon in Gemini, go look up like affirmations that are a little bit more nurturing. And you want to be a good, gentle parent to yourself during this time and like nurture your passions. So that's all the messages I'm getting for you, Pile 1. I hope this video was helpful. If you would like to book a personal reading, please check out the description box below. Thank you. Hi Pile 2, welcome back to With Wisteria Tarot. So this video is what messages should you speak out loud or say to yourself to manifest for the new moon in Gemini. So for your reading, we got a bottlenose dolphin, a good time, socialize and celebrate. Broad club cuttlefish, rapid changes, let your flexibility serve you. The Lovers, Hawaiian Islands. Four of Wands, the Magician, and the Sun. So one of the first messages that you should speak out loud for the new moon is I can do it and we can do it. There's a message about a lot of friendship and making good connections. So there's something about like there's a quote that says, if you go alone, you can go fast, but if you go together, you can go further. That's not quite the quote, but there's something about getting something accomplished with other people or your friends and enjoying doing so. So I don't know if this is a team setting, romantic, or friendship, but I don't know if maybe you've like are moving schools, changing jobs, or moving to like a new neighborhood and you are afraid that you might be alone. There's a message that, keep a positive mindset and just know that you can attract the friendship and connections that you want and that you will have a good time with. So I don't know if you're trying to manifest like a traveling partner, a group of friends, a suitable neighborhood for you. Like if you're moving, just know that you can, and there are good neighbors and good people and good friendships out there that you can seek for yourself, or that you are seeking. So like the affirmations are like, I attract fun and good times with the people who I trust and honor, and they trust and honor me, or some things. Or together we will have a fun time and we will get through this. We can do anything we set our minds to, our messages that are coming out. So I don't know if This definitely seems like a group manifestation. So just be positive during this time and know that it will work out for you guys. There's like a very can-do attitude about this. Like if you're trying to plan for like a trip and it seems bleak, just know that you and your friends can pull through somehow to get there. So we have perfect moments and upside down. So there's also something about maybe your trip that you're planning comes with unexpected surprises. So just keep a positive mindset about this, and that if anything happens with your travel plans, know that you guys will have really fun stories to tell during this time. So I don't know if you're traveling with someone soon and you might get into arguments or anything like that. Just keep a positive mindset because some of these delays might be inconvenient during the time, but they'll make for really fun stories. So I don't know if maybe you or your friend will lose a luggage or something, and then you guys like buy all these random clothes and your photos are all like you guys wearing random clothes. Or you might take like a road trip and you take a different route than you previously planned, and it ends up being extremely beautiful. So you just want to keep repeating to yourself that one, like you're gonna have a good trip, and two, things will work out and work out in a really fun way for you and whoever these people are, or whoever you're traveling with or working together with. There's something that you just want to keep positive and like just go with the flow, and it'll work out for you in the end. So we also got leap of faith when I split the deck, and hope on the horizon. Yeah, so I don't know if maybe you're fighting with people or you're trying to plan a trip or something and it doesn't seem right. Just keep speaking positively about it, because I see that it will be fun and worth it in the end. You really want to like keep a can-do attitude about it, and like know that each group or each member brings like a special flair to the trip. So you just want to like go with the flow and not be too strict on the itinerary or the schedule, and enjoy like the detours that this trip or project will have for you. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, pile 2. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Hi pile 3, thanks for clicking onto this video. This is with Wisteria, and these are the mini messages you should speak for the new moon in Gemini. So for your reading, we got temperance in reverse, healing trauma, dissolve the chains of age-old pain, African lionfish, power of choice, place your attention on gratitude, 5 of wands, judgment, strength, and the chariot. So this message seems to be one where you may have recently gone through something, so you're probably trying to resolve this issue if you haven't already. It seems like you have. And it seems like through this process, you've learned to speak your mind more and set healthy boundaries. You're able to see the situation for what it is. So maybe you were fighting with somebody or arguing with somebody, and then you took a step back and you took an assessment of the situation, and you've realized that maybe like it wasn't exactly the way you may have felt during the argument. So for example, if you catch yourself fighting with like a coworker and you are just so focused on arguing about the correct way to do something, maybe when you step back and you realize like, and you kind of just assess the situation, maybe you're able to see like, oh, this person did things this way because of all these other reasons that I wasn't thinking about or didn't know about or wasn't aware. And then you're healing through that. Same thing with like if you were fighting with a sister or a mom, and you're arguing with them, and then you take a step back and realize like, oh, they're probably saying things out of a past experience they had, or they're just looking out for me in a way that I can't see. And yeah, so there's something about like knowing when to choose to continue the conversation or argument and when to step away. And it seems like you're very focused on preserving your energy at this time. So I see some of the things you should speak out loud are your boundaries, which I've noticed you probably already set. If you haven't yet, go ahead and just say like, sometimes you don't have to fight until the end, is what I know. You can just stop an argument in its tracks. Sometimes maybe if you continue disagreeing with your coworker, you could just say, hey, thank you for having this conversation with me. Let me sit on this and get back to you, or let me look into this more. Or you know what, let me go do some more research. Let me ask for more opinions. If you're fighting with your like loved one, you can just like, hey, I acknowledge everything you said, but let's just let me think about this. Let me cool down. Thank you for being honest with me. I don't know how to respond right now, but I'll definitely think about it. So there's something about setting your boundaries and speaking out loud so that you can come back and say things properly. So you're manifesting like a very calm demeanor in this time that will really help you in your relationships going forward. So we got goal setting, 0 F's given, and endless serendipity. So what I'm actually noticing is that maybe in the past you would have just said whatever and not cared so much about the other person or things like that. But now like you're a little bit more strategic, I guess. It's like certain things are not worth it to burn a bridge, or to really like, you don't always have to be right anymore. Or maybe you're learning that you don't always have to have the last say, and just because you're saying something louder doesn't mean you feel like you're a winner at the end. So I think you're going to be a lot more careful with your words, and you're just going to choose them very wisely to get the result you want. So maybe like before you would continue yelling. Let's say if you and your partner, you guys used to just fight and you would always be right, or you would always just both fight until one of you would just give up. Now you're probably saying things a little bit more carefully. Like you now understand, like if you say one thing, the person will react the other way. So now you're gonna think, maybe I need to say it in a different way, so we can both get what we want, or what you can get. Yeah, so there's like something about choosing your words very carefully, and in doing so, it'll heal something in you, because maybe you used to fight a lot with people, and then now you're realizing like it's a little tiresome and you don't want to do that anymore, and your peace of mind is more important. So you're going to be a lot more strategic with like the arguments you get yourself into and the conversations. Like maybe you're able to nip things in the bud a little bit more, or maybe you're able to detach your emotions, so when you speak to them, like you'll get your way more, and then that will actually make you feel a lot better. Because Because maybe before you would always just want to be right, and now you're looking at the bigger picture, like, what do I actually really want? Do I want to be right, or do I want an outcome? So for example, like at work, sometimes if me and my manager would disagree on something, rather than argue and prove my point or try to be smarter than my manager, I have to just think, like, what do I really want? I want this person to review and approve this so I can move on with my life. So how can I, what are the things or ways that I can do to get their approval sooner so I can move on? Like, is me fighting with them going to make my life easier? Am I going to be happier? And so then sometimes, like, you got to pick and choose. So sometimes I'll just kind of change the topic, or just say, like, okay, I see your point, and kind of end it there and like move on, rather than continuing to like assert my dominance in certain situations, because I'm just trying to get something done and move on. Like, I'm not here to do anything extra. So maybe you used to like waste your time doing that a lot, and now you're going to be a little bit more strategic. So yeah, pile 3, that is what I got for you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Hi, pile 4. Welcome back to With Wisteria Tarot. So this reading is about what messages should you speak out for the new moon in Gemini. So for this one, we got, where do your loyalties lie? The Moorish idol, unchangeable devotion. Out of your comfort zone, you know what inevitably must be done. 2 of Cups, leap of faith. The 1090 ratio, on fire. Page of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles, the Empress, multiple streams. So for this group seems like you probably have a vision board and things you really want to manifest. So the messages you'll probably be speaking is, you're probably going to like only want to discuss things if it nurtures you or your goals. I see that you're really focused on these things, so you're not going to be giving your time to like frivolous gossip, or you're just not going to be talking and engaging with people if they're not on the same wavelength and mind as you, because you're really trying to go places and do things. And if these people aren't going places and doing things themselves, you're really not going to be engaging in that. There's something about this as a time where you're really focused on your hobbies and creating things in your life, whether it is multiple streams of income or more abundance for yourself. You're really going to be focusing on learning and discussing these things more. And so yeah, so like with the where do your loyalties lie, when you talk to people, you'll kind of know what they're most focused on, like where they're at in life, and you'll kind of be able to kind of suss them out. And if they aren't meeting your standards, you're probably not going to engage with them. This is also similar with content. So like if you're consuming any content, you're going to change the content you are consuming. So maybe before you used to watch like a lot of shopping content or things that make you want to buy, but if you're trying to make income, you'll probably switch to watching things about business or stocks or something. There seems to be like a focus on creating a life that's really abundant for you. So you're very focused on that. So like the things I see you speaking are like those motivational quotes that help you achieve your goal. And like you're gonna be super focused on like only talking about things that help you progress in life or get better. This is like the type of people who listen to like motivational podcasts and stuff like that. So yeah, like you're probably going to be engaging in a lot of conversations and like attending lectures. If you haven't already, reading books, and you're only reading books that will help you in life if you haven't already. Yeah, so it just seems like you're just setting boundaries with things and people, and you're just making sure that you're just super focused on things that expand you in the way or in the areas that you're trying to grow. So yeah, Pile 4, that's the message I got for you. I hope that was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.